This is not a coincidence. The moment you clicked on this, something in the spirit realm shifted. Because this isn't just a video. This is a divine confrontation. You've been under attack, seen and unseen, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and you felt it. The heaviness, the confusion, the unexplainable setbacks, the strange resistance every time you try to move forward. But listen closely. Every curse, every hex, every spiritual arrow that has been launched against you is about to backfire. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. The enemy thought you wouldn't make it to this moment. You've been pushed, pressed, provoked, lied on, ignored. Some of the people who smiled at you were secretly hoping you'd fail. Some of the people who claimed to love you were actually assigned to drain you. They came into your life with soft voices but wicked intentions. They monitored you, studied you, mimicked your ways, and then tried to spiritually sabotage you behind the scenes. But here's what they forgot. You are chosen, and chosen ones don't break. They awaken. You weren't meant to fight them in the natural. This battle was never about physical strength. It was spiritual from the beginning. That's why you couldn't explain the warfare to other people, because they weren't called to endure it. They didn't feel what you felt. They didn't see what you saw in the spirit. But you did. You saw the dreams. You felt the strange chills. You noticed the strange timing of events. How people would shift overnight. How peace would vanish suddenly. You were never imagining it. Your spirit was discerning it. You've been under surveillance, not by humans, but by spiritual forces who knew your potential before you did. They saw the light on your life before you ever stepped into it. And they feared it. They knew that if you ever woke up, if you ever stood up, if you ever broke out of those emotional and generational chains, their influence over you would end. And now, it's happening. You're waking up. You're remembering who you are. You're not begging anymore. You're not shrinking anymore. You're not staying silent anymore. And that shift, that awakening, it's triggering the backlash. That's why the attacks intensified recently. That's why the pressure increased. Because the moment you get close to divine alignment, everything sent to distract you, delay you, or destroy you starts screaming louder. But hear this. You are divinely protected. Your steps are ordered. The curses that were sent against you have hit divine interference. And not only will they not succeed, they will return to their sender with force. This is spiritual law. The weapon may be formed, but it will not prosper. Every word curse spoken in private rooms is now being exposed. Every plot designed to block your favor is being shattered. Every jealous eye, every silent hater, every fake friend who cloaked envy with flattery, their intentions are being revealed. You might not hear the full story, but your spirit will know. And your peace will return, because the atmosphere around you is being cleared. Chosen ones walk with invisible armies. You've never been alone, even when you felt abandoned. You've been surrounded by heavenly presence, and that's why some people couldn't stay in your life. Your light irritates their darkness. Your growth triggers their guilt. Your peace exposes their inner war. And when they realized they couldn't destroy you directly, they tried to curse you secretly. They used gossip, witchcraft, manipulation, confusion, silence, distance, anything to dim you. But instead of dimming, you burn brighter. You were forged in fire. The loneliness, the betrayal, the delays, they didn't break you, they built you. And now that you've survived the storm, you don't even speak the same anymore. You carry a quiet power now. You see things clearer. You react less. You discern quicker. That's what happens when a chosen one matures. You no longer cry over closed doors. You recognize them as protection. You don't chase anymore. You attract. You don't beg for peace. You are peace. And in this moment, yes, right now, every curse is reversing. Everything meant to harm you is turning around. You're about to witness tables turning without lifting a single finger. You're going to feel your atmosphere shift, the heaviness lifting, the strange blockages breaking, the spiritual static clearing, because the divine has seen enough. You passed the test. You didn't retaliate when you were lied on. You didn't curse back when they cursed you. You kept walking. You kept praying. You kept trusting, and heaven kept record. There are things moving for you right now that eyes can't see. Vindication is coming, not because you demanded it, but because you remained faithful. Restoration is coming, not because you chased it, but because you refused to become bitter. The spiritual contract written against your destiny has been voided. What was spoken over you without your permission has no authority. What was done in the dark is being unraveled in the light. And the one thing they never expected, your rise, is happening. You may feel tired. You may feel like you've been through a battle you never asked for. But look at you, still here, still standing, still glowing, still chosen. That alone is a miracle. That alone is evidence that no curse, no jealousy, no spiritual interference has the final say over your life. You're covered, and that covering is what's making everything they sent backfire. This is not hype. This is not just motivation. This is a prophetic moment. You're not watching this by accident. Your spirit brought you here because something in you knows. It's time. Time to reclaim your energy. Time to cut the spiritual cords that were silently draining you. Time to break agreement with every word that was spoken against you. You don't even need revenge. Your alignment is revenge. Your peace is revenge. Your glow up, your breakthrough, your joy. That's divine retaliation. So walk boldly now. Don't look back. Don't reach for what God removed. You're not who you were when they attacked you. You're stronger, wiser, anointed, surrounded, and chosen. And from this moment forward, every curse sent against you will not only fail, it will boomerang back with justice. That's the spiritual law that governs the chosen. You don't need to lift a hand to fight this battle. Your silence has already spoken volumes. Your endurance has already won wars in the unseen realm. That's the power of being chosen. You win battles without swinging swords. You win because the divine has already marked your victory. While others schemed, you healed. While they threw curses, you cultivated clarity. While they hoped you'd fold, you learned to fly. And now everything is coming full circle. The very people who whispered your name in rooms you weren't in will soon have to watch you walk into blessings they can't access, not because of revenge, but because of divine law. What was meant to destroy you has made you undeniable. The fire they sent burned away everything fake, and all that's left now is your authentic, awakened self, and that self is untouchable. They tried to curse your name. They tried to bury your energy. They tried to slow your rise by creating distractions, doubts, and delays. But none of it worked. Why? Because you didn't just survive the warfare. You transcended it. You stepped into a frequency so high, no weapon formed against you could function there. Your elevation silenced every enchantment. Your spiritual alignment reversed every assignment. And now, that reversal is manifesting in real time. People who once looked down on you now watch you from afar, wondering how you kept glowing after everything they sent. They don't understand it, because they were never meant to. They don't know the angels that walked with you when no one else did. They don't know the tears that became prayers, or the prayers that became power. They only saw the outside, but it was what happened inside of you that changed everything. You stopped chasing closure. You stopped needing validation. You stopped explaining your pain to people who caused it. And that shift right there, that internal decision, triggered a divine explosion. It sent ripples through the spirit realm. It said, "This one is ready. Ready to carry light without apology. Ready to walk in truth without fear. Ready to stand tall even when standing alone." You became the very thing they feared. Unshakable. And now, every spell, curse, or wish sent to block you is turning to dust. Why? Because they targeted the version of you that no longer exists. They spoke against who you were, not who you've become. And this new you, this transformed, risen, covered version of you, operates under a new covenant, a higher law, a spiritual fire that cannot be touched by human hands. So don't be surprised when strange blessings start flowing. Don't question it when peace comes that makes no sense. Don't hesitate when doors open with no effort. It's not coincidence. It's divine compensation. God saw what they did. God heard what they said. And now heaven is answering with favor, clarity, and breakthrough. You didn't need to fight back because God fought for you. This is your confirmation. What they spoke is returning to them. What they plotted is unraveling in their own camp. What they cursed is now your crown. And the more they try to delay you, the more acceleration is being added to your steps. Because when the chosen one is attacked, heaven responds with promotion. You may not have had the words for what you felt, but your spirit knew. It knew something wasn't right. It knew the energy around certain people wasn't clean. It knew certain rooms were spiritually off. And instead of ignoring that inner alarm, you started listening. You started moving in discernment, not just emotion. You started choosing peace over presence. You started protecting your energy instead of explaining it. That's how you broke the cycle. That's how the curse lost its grip. Because the curse only works when you remain unaware. But now, you're awake, and the enemy knows it. That's why the pressure came right before your breakthrough. Because the spirit realm knew you were about to cross over. And now you have. You've stepped into territory that only the obedient access. So walk boldly. Speak clearly. Move with intention. You've been authorized by heaven. You don't need approval. You carry authority. You don't need to defend your journey. Your glow speaks for itself. You don't need to fear retaliation. What's sent now returns to sender sevenfold. Not because you're spiteful, but because you're protected. And for anyone who doubted you, underestimated you, or tried to sabotage you, your existence is the answer. You don't need revenge. Your survival is proof. Your peace is loud. Your healing is holy. And your presence is prophetic. You've become the evidence that no curse, no lie, no weapon can block what God has ordained. Let them wonder. Let them watch. Let them feel the consequences of the energy they released. You didn't ask for this battle, but you won it. Not by fighting dirty, but by staying clean. And now, all that energy that was meant to stop you is turning around and elevating you. This moment right here, this breath you're taking, it marks a shift. Your body may feel tired, but your soul is rising. Your destiny isn't delayed. It's been secured. And from this point on, you walk in a realm where curses become catalysts, where betrayal becomes direction, where darkness becomes light. You walk in authority, not anxiety. You walk in fire, not fear. You walk in truth, and truth always returns to the sender. So lift your head, fix your posture, smile, even if your heart still feels heavy, because your spirit just won a battle your mind didn't even fully understand. And the reward, it's already on its way. This is your season of divine reversal. This is your moment of supernatural justice. And this is your confirmation that every curse has already backfired.